Okay, the time is 7:14 a.m. July 20th, 2024. Oh, I'm sorry. 2025. Let's start again. The time is 7:14 a.m. It's Sunday morning, July 20th, 2025. Okay. The Navy SEALs, I need to be clear who that just was. The United States U.S. Navy SEALs were just flying over the compound. Okay, I need to be clear and put this into the title that the press, we know about the press, the entire world's public has clear knowledge about the United States press corps and their loyalty to neo-Nazis, Latin drug cartels, and Islamist Muslim terror groups. Okay? Enough time has gone over these 7 years since Donald Trump's first presidency. Time on the clock has exposed over the course of time the intent through the actions that the U.S. press corps has taken of what they're trying to do. What they are charged with, there's no longer any viable, valid defense on their behalf. There's no defense. What they are charged with is aiding, abetting. They're charged with treason, and they're charged with espionage. They're also charged with terrorism, amongst many other capital crimes. They were given millions of dollars, personal bank accounts were given from terror groups in the Middle East to neo-Nazi groups out of Russia and out of the Eastern European countries. Some were given millions of dollars into their personal accounts. These are journalists and reporters out of China and political members in China who were attacking the Communist Republic of China. They had enriched themselves personally through overseas bank accounts and various ways to engage in white-collar crimes with money to wage war through the United States press. The articles and the publications that came out of the United States press corps after, we're starting at 2017, after a good 2 years, were nothing less than classified in criminal charges as intentional, premeditated, misinformation and disinformation, but in a criminal context, okay, in a criminal context of aiding, abetting, and treason, capital crimes, okay, so it's considered warfare, all right, and there are terms for that, but I am not informed enough on all of the terminology, okay, so, but that is the charges. It might be a different legal terminology, okay, those are the charges. Okay, so whatever is taking place around the world, in the United States or in the capital of the United States. I'm not aware of it. I have not clicked or touched my news information app in close to a week. It's been 5 days, definitely, possibly 6. I just won't, okay? Ever since that man manufactured that intense, that jaw-dropping, that gigantic of a explosive device inside of 1509 S Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. Ever since that, he's a terrorist, he's a male. Ever since that male, United States citizen, manufactured that IED on film on Facebook, the United States Facebook, I have not read the news, and I have stated why. So, this report from me about this compound is being published with my own complete ignorance to what is going on. I do not know if Biden has passed on, if Trump has passed on, if any of the Senate, Congress, any of these individuals that are, to my last knowledge, waging violent terrorist acts against the sovereign territory of the United States. I have no idea if they've been arrested. I don't know, folks. I stated why. As far as this compound, it's really active, and that's what I'm going to report. In the last 10 minutes, there was bone fracture gas. Before there was bone fracture gas, there was some other cyanide type gas. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to race. This shit is so fucking deadly. All these thoughts, you can't believe it. You're grabbing at your body. You're in all this pain. They're gassing someone in your perimeter, etc., etc. You're terrified. You don't know what to do. My green light was, whatever you do, do not leave your room. By the grace of God, I did not have to gush out all this diarrhea. The gas did pump and pump and pump at really intense and strong, big volumes, like lots and lots of gas. It was really strong for a good 2 minutes. The pain that I was in was a 3, so that's when you start to screech and cry, and you can't focus. You're in too much pain to have any clear thought. Okay, you're just focused on all the pain you're in, right? Okay, that lasted for a good 2 minutes. Yeah. I managed to stay seated in my chair, which was the best thing to do, and that was all God. I choose to believe God had a very strong role in that, because the pain, anything could occur when a person is in that much pain. They react. I could have ran into the other room trying to get away from the gas. Who knows? It was so painful. Okay, we're clear on that. I stayed in my chair. I'm really glad I did. Okay, while that was happening and before that happened, the United States Navy SEALs were over the house. And to give clarity to why I mentioned and discussed in this report the United States Press Corps, is because the misinformation and disinformation, which are charges of criminal context, criminal intent for treason, aiding, abetting, harboring, etc., etc. The only United States Navy SEALs that the world and the United States citizens have read about since Donald Trump took office in 2017, the only Navy SEALs that comes to your mind through news publications coming out of the United States are the very military that is actively attacking their own country, the United States. So they take military members who are going to be arrested, put in military tribunals, and executed at the highest levels for being in the military and attacking your own military members and attacking your own countries in a coup. What America did was we took these individuals and put them on news, put them on Twitter, put them on Facebook, put them on Instagram, put them on Truth Social, put them everywhere, made them famous. So not only did you see these individuals being famous with a news story as some sort of heroic, mighty headline of he saved the day, this Navy SEAL saved the day, but legally, factually, this very identifiable same individual was opening fire and shooting at, leaving explosive devices, etc., and trying to make attempts on the very lives of these Navy SEALs that just flew over the house. There's 2 United States Navy SEALs. Now, how active, how much military power the Navy SEALs that are attacking the United States, how much military power they have, I wish I could answer that question. I don't know. Okay, but historically, this country put those individuals who were attacking their own country in the news, on the TV, everywhere you could see them, and made them famous. It was on purpose. They made a terrorist, basically, anyone they could grab off the sidewalk who was a violent terrorist, and they made them into celebrities. When I say we know who you are, I mean what I say. Okay, this was definitely unique to the United States. Unique in the fact that these people who know they just left an IED at a bank, who know they just left an IED in a hotel lobby, they know how criminal and highest charges, punishment through the court of law, they know that's terrorism. They know that's felonies. They know they're in the military. They're enlisted in the military. They know it. But at the same time, they signed up to say, yeah, put me on the news. I'm a good guy. I'm a celebrity. Look at me. Hey, I'm on the paper today. So the Americans literally agreed to that. At the same time, they were doing the most violent crimes. It's unique to the United States, this type of person. Okay, and the United States press corps kept doing it. So when I say U.S. Navy SEALs, you think of these white men. They're always white. They have red hair. All these Navy SEAL men with red hair. I know I'm beginning to bring up memories to the world and to the United States individuals who are peaceful, who might be hearing this. You're thinking, yeah, that's how I see. No, the Navy SEALs are not all white men with red hair. Okay? That's the couping military. There's a lot of couping military members who are Irish mafia. They are vicious, vile, racist. Some of them are Ku Klux Klan. If they're not Irish Mafia or Ku Klux Klan, they want to be, and they would love to be joined in. Okay? Okay, they're not all red-haired, blue-eyed men. You can be a red-haired, blue-eyed man in the U.S. Navy SEALs and be flying over this house, but you're not attacking the country, okay? That's the defining factor is, are you attacking the sovereign territory of the United States for white power and for Saudi Arabia? Or are you not? It's one of the two. There's no in between. So the United States Navy SEALs just flew over the house out of nowhere. It was during the chemical weapons warfare. I had no idea what was going on other than chemical weapons warfare and 2 different helicopters hovering over the house for close to 10 minutes, so low as they flew that their choppers were snapping, and I did consider there was a raid about to happen. And so what should I do? I finally meet them. They're going to raid the house, proper raid. I've been waiting years. Hallelujah. Okay, we have surpassed our 13-minute clicker. I'm just going to continue. Out of nowhere, the Navy SEALs pulled up over the house with multiple helicopters. They circled and circled and circled and circled and circled and circled and circled. This is no laughing matter. These are the words that I have. Please understand the severity and seriousness of the Navy SEALs circling and circling and circling over any house. And please understand how close this house is to Donald J. Trump. Okay, out of nowhere. I had been up 15 minutes at max. That's the max. I had basically just woken up. Next thing I know, there's what I think may be a raid happening, because that's what someone like me would think, okay? And they're circling, and they're flying so low you can hear the engine of the aircraft. You can hear the blades snapping, and this went multiple times, up and down, low, high. I mean, these men are trained to kill and nothing to laugh about. I know this from life experience. As for the terrorists in this compound, unfortunately, I cannot say one word of anything I've been witnessing. Okay, and then when they were flying over the course of time, they were here. There was nothing to laugh about. The gas broke out. And I described this enough, what that was like, and then the gas stopped. And about 2 minutes after the good guys were not, to my knowledge, over the house, my green light was report this. And please remember, I am never allowed to report anything the good military does. From A to Z, it's almost never on this account. So I cannot tell you when the last time was they flew over. I cannot tell you anything except this morning. Okay, so thank you so much for this time you have spent listening to this report. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you more things. I am only allowed to say, when I went out to my bathroom, this is not last night, this is nothing but this morning. Last night, every night is hell in here. I can't say that for my own dignity. But when I went out to my bathroom this morning, there was terrorism. That's all I'm allowed to say. Terrorism at level 5 going on, and I was aware of it. But I wasn't aware of any humans, any terrorists. So this kind of alludes to a few things, but I can't not talk about it. All right, so it's still full fucking speed ahead here. And then they've got Navy SEALs, these incredible people, just, I couldn't believe it, but I never can believe it when there's that many trained military individuals literally hovering over your roof. You'll never forget something like that. And then the fact that they think they're taking me to court. What are you doing at the courthouse? What do you think you're doing? I will see you there. Remember, you're bringing me and the Navy SEALs before you. Your Honor, I'm looking forward to it.